master.
So last class we learnt about different elements of communication and introduction to communication we learnt. Okay, like what is the definition of communication and what are the advantages and disadvantages of communication, and how we can use the communication skills to excel in our professional and personal life. We saw the various important aspects of it. Okay, so now in this class we will be seeing what are the different elements of communication which will help you to complete one cycle of communication. Means communication, you know, communication means what? It is the exchange of ideas, thoughts, opinions and information among the individuals and receiving the feedback at the same time. Okay, so this is the definition, understanding. So this definition only how it works, what is the process. So the first element is beginning of communication. Means communication begins with two individuals. For example, I have taken two students. So in this, one will be the sender, means who will be speaking, another will be receiver. Okay, so in this first step is what? Beginning of the communication, means the sender will speak, sender will send one message to the receiver. That means what? That doesn't mean that he is not acting anything. Okay, he will ask something to him. Okay, this person will ask something to the listener. So in that same period of time, two things are happening. Okay, only this person is not reacting or speaking. At the same time, the listener is also listening. So this is also communication is happening here. Okay, so this is the first element. The speaker is speaking, the listener is listening. This is how the communication starts. Understood? This is the first element. Second element, entry to the sensory world. In the name only there is the meaning. So the listener, what he will do? The listener will sense through the various sense organs. Okay, like for seeing he uses the sight, for listening he uses ears. Okay, taste, then touch sensitivity. Okay, all these five sensory organs will help the listener to listen to the what the speaker is speaking. Communication has entered into the sensory world now. Okay, so next, third element, okay, detection by the senses. As I told you, the listener will use his sense organs to detect what the sender is telling to him. Okay, so that is the third element. Means what? The listener is using his ears, eyes to grasp the information what the sender is saying. Okay, so what is happening? He is encoding. In this process, the sender is encoding the message and the receiver is decoding the message what he is telling. Okay, so this is the third step. Fourth step, filtering process. In this filtering process, what will happen? The person who is listening, he tries to encode the message what the listener is sending. For example, what he is telling, he will listen through his ears and that information will go to his brain. Okay, his brain will search for what the valuable meaning what he is telling. He will think about the meaning of what he is telling. Okay, so that is the filtering process will happen. Okay, so at the same time, the listener is surrounded by so many different distraction also. Okay, he will not be listening only what the sender is speaking. He will be listening the surroundings, different noise also. He will be able to see different things also around him. Okay, those who are standing behind him or those who are speaking in background noise also, he will be listening that also. Ignoring all those things, he will be concentrating only on what the sender is speaking. This is called as what? Filtering. Understanding, no? Filtering. This is one of the element of communication. Next, okay, once the listener has received the information, he has filtered the information, he has understood the information, he will try to respond back according to what he has understood. Okay, according to what he has understood, depending upon his knowledge and understanding, he will respond back. If the sender has sent the information clearly, then he will understand it. Depending upon his knowledge, he will respond back to him. Okay, this is called as what? Formation and sending of the response. So the last element is cycle repeated. Once the listener has responded to the sender, one cycle will come to end now. Means what? He is answering to what the sender has told. Means one cycle is completed. Once the listener speaks and sends back the message. So what is happening? He is responding to the sender. Here two things are happening. One, he is giving the feedback. Another thing is he is answering according to the question or information what the sender has given. like this one cycle is repeated and the second cycle starts. In the second cycle what will happen? He will become the listener. The sender who was sender no first, he will become the listener and the listener will become sender. Understanding no? So like that this communication process continues until they wish to communicate among each other. Understanding no? This is how the communication starts. These are the 6 elements of communication. This is how the communication happens. Okay. To summarize, I can say that sender will send the message, that is encoding will be happening. He will be encoding his message to the listener. Listener will, in between sender and listener, one medium will be there. Okay. He can talk with his voice directly using this medium, and the listener what will be doing, he will encode what the message is sent by the sender. Okay, that message will be encoded by the listener, and according to his knowledge the listener will respond to the listener after decoding it, and the communication cycle, one cycle is completed and one feedback will be taken. Okay, and in second cycle what will happen, he will be the listener and the listener will become the speaker. Okay, like this way the communication continues as long as they wish to communicate. Understood, no? So this is all about elements of communication. Any doubts in this?